The overwhelming response to my previous video was to follow it up by listening to the entire Chris Potter solo. So, over the solos, you have this turnaround. Listen to this. Oh. Okay, but listen to the band. Oh my gosh, the tension. What Chris is just so masterful at doing is... Now, before I get to the is, and I will get to the is, I feel like I should explain how this video is gonna work. After the last 2 videos I did where I've been kind of digging into this Chris Potter solo from the source, a live bootleg recording that is, I got a lot of requests to keep going with it and do a reaction video. So that's what this video is gonna be. I'm gonna just react to the rest of the solo and talk about all the things inside of it that are blowing my mind. But before I do that, since the recording is not available elsewhere, I'm just gonna play it in its entirety, unadulterated, without my added commentary, so you can just enjoy it for yourself. And then we'll talk about Chris's superhuman powers with melodic development, articulation, altissimo, rhythm, harmony, motifs, a useful little nugget of vocabulary, and finally, group interplay. Slight change of plans. When I uploaded the video with the uninterrupted clip, it got flagged by YouTube for copyright infringement, probably because of the melody, so I had to cut that part out. We'll just listen to the solo at the end. So first, I think the breakdown part should work all right, so let's... This is the source, live. Dude, Sorry, you're gonna hear a bunch of like giggles and stuff, and that's just us, our young selves losing our minds at this concert. Okay, here we go. Hear how cool those offbeat hits are of the rhythm section? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, boom, 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 and how they're working against how the melody that Potter's playing is pretty on the nose. Call and response. Okay, real quick, because also I said I would talk about this heritage neck that I've been playing with. That was a moment where the Mark 6 neck, my normal neck, I have a lot of trouble in the low register with it, and I have to bark the notes out, and I don't have to do that with the heritage neck. Also, the way I'm interpreting what he's doing down there with this part. Now that's a kind of vocabulary I like to break apart and deconstruct and say, how can I use that later? It's so structurally sound and so structurally obvious in a way. So what Chris is playing here, what is that? Well, it's happening over this B dominant, kind of B sus 10. The whole song is dominant, but it has a sussy vibe because the voicings are actually more like, I can't even do it all, but it's like every note in the Mixolydian scale. Anyway, over the solos, you have this turnaround. So kind of like an E sus10, D sus10. And over that, he's playing. Okay, so what's in there, unpacking that, A major 7 over a B. So it gives us this sussy vibe. So from the dominant, here's my extrapolation. From the dominant, you see a dominant chord go down a whole step and create a major 7th chord from that note. So B, go down a whole step to A. And that major 7th chord against our original written chord, the actual chord, gives us flat 7, 9, 11, 13. Now, flip that 7th on its 7th, right? In the virtual studio, I have lessons on this, flipping a major 7th chord on its head, 7th on 7th. You take the 7th, you put it in the bottom. So it works great over this dominant, works great over its related minor, so like F sharp minor. Anyway, but so now I can use that. So if you said, all right, the chord is E flat 7 or E flat sus 10, go down a whole step, D flat major 7. Sorry for my sloppy piano playing here. Put the 7th in the bottom. And I can reconstruct that much easier. You know, I put it elsewhere. G. Okay, so that's how I pull something like that apart to use later. Okay, this part is really cool. These wide intervals. Sorry. So the way he's dealing with that on tenor, what ends up being a B major chord, he's like 1, 5, 7, 9. Really interesting. And then hear how he pulls the time back. I love this part. You know, to me that just sounds like almost like somebody falling downstairs or something. I don't know. It might sound kind of kooky, but there's the way he's manipulating the time there is so controlled. Woo, that part. What? So there is a really killer example of some classic Charlie Parker-isms in Chris Potter's playing. Same initials, by the way. Charlie Parker, Chris Potter. He's going into the 4 chord, setting it up with a tritone substitution. So on tenor, you're heading from D flat to G flat or C sharp to F sharp. And so right before that F sharp dominant, he's basically doing this really cool D minor G7 way up high. Killer, right? And then these triplets. Okay. Oh! This. Okay. It's kind of like a set of diatonic triads over what? Over B melodic minor? I mean, he's changing them. Okay, so this is like, for the people who are in my studio and have gone through the visual technique for improvisation course, this is a moment that is like a case study in that kind of stuff that we do in that course. The idea here is he's taking the shape and he's moving the shape through the chord changes. So as the chords and scales change underneath, he's taking this motif and just walking it up, this triplet thing, adjusting to meet the chord scales that change underneath him. Does that make sense? So now, it doesn't go on forever because that would just be annoying, right? But it's enough to really identify this pattern. And then he just flips it. And I've only got some of that. And that's where I sort of get tied up in knots. But from there, let's just listen to it. I'll go back a little bit. Listen to this. I mean, listen to the articulation here, the deliberate staccato articulation. Oh my gosh, the tension here. And also, I'm talking about motifs, right? So the boop 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 beep, open boop beep, boop boop beep, open boop beep. Listen to this. It's like boxing with overtones, overtone boxing. Oh, okay, but listen to the band. Listen to what they're doing there. Listen to this. Oh my gosh, the tension. Okay, there's an incredible moment coming up, but let's just go back. What he's setting up here with these, they're really not, sorry, there's just so many things I want to say. Like, he can spin these lines for days with impeccable time and perfect, flawless technique and everything. But what Chris is just so masterful at doing is working with ideas, at shaping motifs and developing them. Again, just my observation and opinion, but come on, listen to that. I mean, maybe one of the most climactic moments of this solo, and what is he playing? Like, he's playing half notes. Of course, that doesn't mean, oh, he's playing half notes. I just want to point that out to you after all of the pyrotechnics, perhaps, and certainly undeniably one of the most amazing moments in this is the chemistry happening with the band right here, and Chris is leading with on the beat half notes. That's the third or maybe fourth time that Blade has done this, where it's like he sucks all the air out. It's a complete dynamic vacuum before he comes back in with that crash. And think about how you can do this too. Like, this is something, when I'm listening to stuff like this, it's amazing, but I'm also thinking, oh, it's my wife calling. I'm also thinking, like, how could I do this type of thing on a saxophone? Hi, can you hear me? I'm recording right now, so let me call you back. Anyway, listen for the sound, the sonic vacuum. Right there. There it is. Amazing. Just a coil. Ridiculous, right? All right, as promised, let's just listen to it together without me yapping about what's going on. I like to listen to music in the car, so let's just